what's up, everybody? I am Earl from Almighty Fitness Inc., and I want to welcome you to the Choppin' F.A.T podcast. We took a little break, but we are back, and I got a special guest with me. But again, let me introduce myself. If you don't know who I am and you're just tuning in, my name is Earl. I am the owner of Almighty Fitness Inc. I am a personal trainer. I am a nutritionist. I am the owner of Under One Roof Fitness Center in Randolph, Mass. That is where I work out of. And on the screen, as you can see, her name is Marline Gordon. Marline, introduce yourself and tell the people who you are and what you do.
Okay. Hi, I'm Marline Gordon. I am a respiratory therapist. I've been a respiratory therapist over 10 years. I specialize in sleep medicine, sleep disorders. So I've been in the industry over 20 years.
Wow.
For work, I know a lot of people think respiratory therapists are the one that maintains life support machines, but we do anything that has to do with lungs and heart. So in
Right.
my field, I just really specialize in sleep disorders, sleep apnea, insomnia, and there's a list of sleep disorders out there.
Awesome. Awesome. I actually know one other respiratory therapist. Now that you mention it, one of my clients, she was last year, a client of mine, she was doing that. She does that too. And she actually got a job recently. I think she's over at BMC now. I'm not sure, but that was the only time I've ever heard of that, So, and now so that's cool. So the subject today, we're going to talk about sleep, right? You just said it. You specialize in sleep. I am a fitness trainer. I stress sleep with my clients and how important it is, why it's important. That's one of the, I was looking up some things, some notes, and then I looked and I saw that the CDC actually says 1 out of every 3 Americans complain about not getting sleep. And then the thing that tripped me out was it said 40% of Americans fall asleep during the day without even knowing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, and then I sat there and thought about all my power naps. At least I call them that. I don't always know I'm in it, but I'm in it sometimes. So I was thinking of that and I was like, how crazy is that? That 40% is such a high number of people who are falling asleep, and 1 out of every 3 people you meet aren't getting sleep. That's major. So in your field, you said you're a sleep specialist. What type of things do you deal with when it comes to clients who are struggling with sleep?
So, like with me, I'm a respiratory therapist. I am like the last person that has to help with actually the therapy part of it. Okay, so when a patient like comes to they seek help because they're having sleep issues, but most of the patients do not come and seek help is because comorbidities, meaning that
Mm,
they have diabetes,
right,
hypertension, they're
right.
overweight, and those people, that is when their physician, like the specialist, say, hey, you're having all these issues, and that's where sleep gets involved. And then from there, that's, they get diagnosed, and I'm the person that deal with therapists. I actually set patients up with CPAP machines. So I
Okay.
deal with a lot of people with obstructive sleep apnea.
Mm,
Um, yeah, so it does. A lot of my patients are overweight.
okay.
And but then I do have a few, it might be 50-50. I do have people that looks just like you,
I was gonna ask you
exercise and
that. I was gonna
everything,
ask you
and they
that.
still,
Right.
yeah. So I have a large number of those people. It's like it could be because of hereditary, how their airways collapse, like
Okay.
their airways and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
um, yeah,
So, all right. So let me ask you this, right? Because
yeah,
I'm a fit guy, as you know,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
My wife hates that I snore. She said I snore every night. There's not a night that goes by that I don't snore. Unless I'm sleeping on the couch and I'm upright and I lean my head back, I'm not
Yeah.
snoring. What?
Mhm.
Why is it so for me? Somebody like me who's healthy, the way that I snore, is that something? Is it more of an airway thing for me? You know what I
Yeah, it
mean?
might be an airway thing. So that's like, so we would suggest that you do like positional therapy. So a lot of
Okay.
people who have like sleep apnea, like because that's sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is so you actually stop breathing. Okay. So you start breathing, your body will wake up
Okay.
to keep that airway open. And so that's that part. And then snoring is actually just air trying to go through the airway. Okay.
Okay.
So
All
yeah,
right.
so if you did some position, you just did it. You said, okay, I'm gonna just lay that and sleep upright and keep my airway open, and you might stop. So that's
Right.
position therapy
Oh, okay.
right there. Yeah. So a lot of people sleeping on like recliners. You'll see like I feel comfortable just sleeping on my couch versus sleeping on my
Me
bed. And it
too, which
because
is so weird. It's so
yeah, it's
true.
because airway like just me also when I have like a cold, I have to sleep with a lot of pillows because that's
Mm,
another way because when you have a cold, everything's inflamed, right? So that's another way I have to have, a way, lift my head up and try to sleep so I don't have to um snore. It's not even snoring, it's more like breathing, just better breathing. Okay. Because
okay.
anything that if you're not breathing right, collapse, your airway is closed. So it makes that snoring noise and stuff like that.
Mm,
If
okay.
that don't work, then they gotta do more invasive stuff.
So positional therapy is literally just what trying to find a different position to sleep in, like on your side, on
Yes,
your back, on your stomach. So
yes.
what do you do? Like you put them through different
So
exercises to try to sleep this certain ways?
yeah, so okay, so for someone, so it helps when you have a like you said, you have your wife, right? So your wife is the one to say, hey, when you sleep on your back, you snore.
Right, right.
Just hit you in the
Yeah,
back or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah. I'm
that,
getting hit
and
all the
position to
time.
your side. Yeah. So you position yourself to the side, airways better. But then you do have those people that's side sleepers, or you have those people
Right.
that snore when they're side sleeper, or so the position therapy we have like things that you can do things yourself. You can actually take a tennis ball, sew it, like put the cloth over it, sew it on your back, so when you sleep on your back, if you sleep on your side and then you find yourself sleep on your back, that ball's going to hurt you, is going to put you back to the side. So that's
Oh,
another way.
okay.
Yeah, that's positional therapy. There's
Okay.
actually vests that patients sleep with that vibrate when they go in the back.
Okay. Okay. To
Yeah.
wake them up. Oh,
Mhm.
oh, that's interesting. My
Yeah.
wife's she's gonna be trying all these crazy things with me. I know she's so far.
Hmm.
I think we tried the nasal strip one time. I don't know if
Okay.
those really work. We tried that, but it actually gave me like a really, really bad allergic reaction. You know what I mean? It's like really, really dark all the way over here because of it. So I stopped doing
Okay.
that.
The
I tr
adhesive part. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
tried to
does.
do the mouth guard thing. You know, the way you put in your mouth and it's
Oh
supposed
yeah.
to.
So you did the dental. Did you go to a dentist or
Well,
did you find something online?
no, it's probably something. It was something online, like
Okay.
through I'm trying to think. Sweatcoin is like a fitness app, and you can get digital rewards. And I think I got something like that, and I tried that out. And then there was one other thing I tried. It was this nasal spray and these drops. I
Okay.
can't think of the name. It's a sleep company. I can't think of the name of it, but I tried it. But it was really strong. Like when I sprayed it on my nose, it was like, oh, you
Okay.
know. So I tried those three things, but it wasn't none of them really. The mouth guard thing was too uncomfortable for me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's really tight. Was uncomfortable. So I have tried those three things. I never tried to keep track of if I'm snoring on my left, on my side, back, stomach. The most I know on the couch, I get the most REM sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if I'm snoring because I'm always there by myself. But those I know I've dealt with those for a while now, and I often don't feel like, well, I wasn't feeling like I was getting REM sleep because I feel like I would just blink. Time to get up. I feel so tired, and I felt like
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I checked my watch, I try to track my sleep with the fitness watch, and
Yeah. What
my
does it say?
REM sleep was just not like that. I'd probably get like 2 hours, an hour or
Okay.
two, you know what I mean? So it was really hard. So, and then what I noticed was one of the effects of not getting sleep is that that's when I get sick. That's when I catch colds,
Oh,
things like that all the
yeah.
time.
Your
And
immune system, yes.
right. I was reading about how important that is. And you
Hmm.
could talk about this, more than I can, about how important sleep is for the immunity and trying to build
Yeah,
that up.
it's so important. It just like it's like sleep is just like the necessity, like you have to eat, right? Food and water. So
Right.
sleep is as equal important because your body needs to rest. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Your body needs to rest. In order for your body to rest, and that will, your cells are building up every time you go to sleep.
Absolutely.
Your body's resting, so that's how it builds your immunity. But if you're like up all the time and yeah, that's why you'll get sick and stuff like that. So someone like you, because I mean, sleep haven't wasn't like, you have to think about, sleep medicine or sleep itself, it wasn't important to like in the 70s. It's not like,
Right.
it's like it was, yeah, so it wasn't like one of the um one of those this type of field specialty that was,
Right.
hearts was from like hundreds of years ago. But then when you talk about sleep, it's just wasn't that important, and it's still not,
Exactly.
like, that field is still not isn't important. But anyways, for like someone like you, we would already say, oh, he's fit, like he shouldn't have any issues. But
Hmm.
no, I would recommend that you see a sleep specialist. And
Okay.
if you had, even if you spoke to your primary care doctor, have you go to your, see your primary care doctor every year. Do they even ask you about your sleep?
Well, first of all, you put me on the spot like that. I haven't seen my primary care in a little. I haven't seen her in a little. So I got to call her, man. It's been a while. I haven't seen my primary care since. I'm be honest with you. I think COVID started. I saw her on Zoom. I had a
Okay.
shoulder issue last year. I started on Zoom. You know what I mean? Like I haven't seen her in person at
In
all.
person, but you do follow up.
And I never. But what's crazy? I never talked to her about sleep, snoring, and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
what?
that's the primary
Right.
care supposed to do that, and they
I
don't
know.
do that. They
Right
don't
at
do that because,
all.
yeah, they don't do that. So
That is so
they
true.
don't really do that at all. So they should just like they follow the systems. They have
Right.
like different steps that they have, but they should
Exactly.
ask about sleep. So you can talk about that, like, hey, this and that. And then what you'll do is
Exactly.
like, you know what? I'm not the professional. Let me refer you to a sleep medicine department or sleep physician. And then
Right.
from there, they would do your, because we don't talk about, yeah, our primary care doctor is supposed to do that, and they don't do that.
Yeah. And
And
it's so
thank
true.
God you're out, your fitness and all that. Because
Right.
imagine if you wasn't doing that, it would be like you made it to your seeing your endocrinologist. Now you have diabetes.
Right.
Now
Exactly.
they will, yeah, that's when they'll
It's
say,
so
hey,
true.
what's going on? And they're like, oh, why your sleep is, that's probably why weight gain leads
Uh-huh.
to, things like
Right.
that. So yeah.
Yeah, and
So
that's the thing. In the fitness world, for me, I had to figure out ways how to get sleep because people don't understand this, that when you work out, people think when you go to the gym, that's when
mhm.
you're building muscle. It's like, no, when you go to the gym, you're tearing muscle. It's when you
Okay.
go to sleep that you're actually building and repairing the most muscle. Sleep is where your gains are really happening. So if you're
Okay.
going to
Yeah.
the gym and you're not getting quality sleep, you're doing yourself a disservice. So I had to learn how to get better sleep, and some of that had to come through supplementation. Some of that I had to create routines of, like, for instance, going to bed at the same time every night. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like despite
Yeah.
whatever is on TV. And so
Mhm.
one of the battles I have with my clients being that, obviously they come in, they work out, and I say, okay, well, how'd you sleep? How'd you hydrate? I didn't really
Mhm.
sleep. I had 3, 4 hours. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, I can't sleep. I'm just not tired. So, one of the things that I preach to my clients often is, well, there's a couple things, right? I say,
Mhm.
uh, we don't get enough sunlight, right?
Yeah.
At all, especially in the
Oh,
wintertime. I feel like we all should be taking vitamin D
vitamin D.
in the
Yes.
wintertime. Now, here's the
Mhm.
crazy thing that most people don't know is that, vitamin D doesn't work without magnesium. Magnesium activates vitamin D. So even if you take
Yeah.
vitamin D, and you don't take magnesium, it's not going to do what it's supposed to do. So magnesium is actually one of the things that I have my clients take to get better sleep, because magnesium helps with calming the mind, and
Yeah.
and it helps to improve your sleep too. Magnesium, I think, inositol and glycine, like those three things are supplements that I had to keep in my cabinet to help me get deeper sleep, and they work
Okay.
for me. Now, I sleep deeper. I'm still snoring, but I sleep
Mhm.
deep. You know what I mean? And I wake up and I feel refreshed, but
Okay.
I'm still, the snoring is still there. You know what I mean? So I try to teach my clients about that, about the supplementation aspect of those things. If hey, try this out, see how it feels. See if you get better, see if you recognize anything. I had to put things in place like one of the things I did to what did I say? Tips for sleep, right? This is my fitness tips for sleep. I tell people
Yeah.
hot shower, right? Hour before bed.
Mhm.
Um, what did I say? Go to bed at the same time every night. I just mentioned that. No
Yeah.
caffeine after 12 p.m. Like
Yeah.
no caffeine,
Mhm.
no big meals before bed.
Yeah.
I try to always dim the lights, keep the room kind of cool,
Turn
no
off the
exercise,
TV.
turn off the TV, no exercise close to bed,
Mhm.
and like I said, get sunlight. I didn't know that sunlight produces melatonin in your eyes.
Mhm.
Just reading, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. We get enough, we get outside, we should get more direct sunlight throughout the day. Like, even if you're sitting on the couch, find a spot where the sun is just hitting you in the face, or go for a walk. You know what I mean?
There's
Go outside,
actually
get some.
there's actually lamps that you buy. You can
Oh man,
Yeah,
look at that. Wow. Okay.
so that's more like deeper I mean that's like deeper like that's I call it like that's like the holistic part of
Right.
sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, like getting the lights and things like that. But then you don't forget you have like obstructive sleep apnea. How about the people who have insomnia? So
So
that's your insomnia.
we have
Yeah, right
somebody
there.
at church. There's a girl at our
Mhm.
church who's dealing with that right now, and
Okay.
we had to connect you with her, because
Mhm.
I talked to her this past no 2 Sundays ago, and I mentioned those three supplements. I said, hey, well, try this.
Mhm.
Let's see. Hey, it might do something for you. Try it out. Think it'll work, but you should really try to get some sunlight, things like that. I don't think she's put any of those things in place, but I know she's dealing with insomnia, and we gotta definitely connect you with her to try to help
Yeah,
as we
so
try to build this health team. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yes,
let's come together.
I'm excited with that because insomnia is another it's the most common sleep disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot like you gave great examples that will help her because
Mm-hmm.
and then also we like cognitive behavioral therapy, meaning
Mm-hmm.
therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a
Yeah.
reason why people are in insomnia, so it's more a mental type of thing too. So
Okay.
seeing therapists will help. So I used to work for while I was in while I decided I wanted to go into I was knew I was going to be a respiratory therapist, but it just took some time for me to get there. But it's like a second career for me. So I used to work for a clinic called Sleep Health Centers, and it was a very great clinic, but they ended up closing down. But it's okay. But anyway, that clinic had it dealt with medical for sleep, but then also holistic, and
Okay.
then we had therapists there. So people who are like psychiatrists and psychologists, they would actually suffer from insomnia. So they had to go see this cognitive behavioral therapist who had to help them. So they had to do all those like they had to get they some of them had to do what they call not acupuncture. Yeah, they do acupuncture.
Mm-hmm.
They had to see a hypnotist, like
Wow.
different ways because it's a mental thing. So just think about them for an example. They're psychiatrists. They're sitting there listening to
Right.
hundreds of
Taking all
people's
that in.
problem. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and they're taking that
Right.
in. So it's like that will develop that. You know what I'm saying? So thank
Right.
God we have I mean when we build up this health ministry, I don't really know what to call it, but I just been calling it health ministry.
I just call it motivate health.
Yeah,
We
motivate
figuring it
health.
out.
Yeah, so we do have, like Robin and Unique that they're doing their thing too.
Right.
That is something that they might have to look into insomnia because they can help insomnia.
Right.
That's what we at my clinic we refer our insomnias to cognitive behavioral therapy.
Right.
Yes, there's some medication that they can take,
Right.
yeah, your examples or even antihistamines. Like you don't believe that, but taking a Benadryl or
Well, yeah,
yeah.
I can't even drive with a
Yeah, so
Benadryl. I'll
that'll knock them
be
out. Yeah, but then you don't want
swerving
to
out the road.
get used to those type of things to
Exactly.
go to sleep. So
Exactly.
it's more like a mental thing. So they
Right.
have to figure out the root why they're not
Yeah.
sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so you're thinking somebody has well, a therapist are hearing that all day, or even until they go to bed, and it's just constantly thinking about all their patients, what their issues are, so their mind is calmly racing. That's
Yeah.
why I tell people I love magnesium because it literally calms you down from
Yes.
thinking so much. You know what I mean? And it's a hidden gem for me that people really don't like. I think people are catching on now because as I
Mhm.
keep trying to go buy it, it's starting to be sold out more and more. You know
Oh
what I
wow.
mean? So I like it's almost like even with that ministry, it's like, hey, so let's see Earl. He might recommend some supplements for you. See if it works. If it don't, all right, we're gonna push this up a little further. I need you to go see Marlene. Maybe we got to see
Yes.
Andrew. You know what I mean? So we'll have a cool process. But I really wanted to get you on here just to talk about this because I
Mhm.
do believe the fitness world, like your world, people suffer from it. In the fitness world, they lose a lot of their gains because of not getting this sleep. And so I try, like I said, I try to put these things in place. Some do it, some don't. I would say if I get 5 people, I would say 2 out of the 5 might actually put it into play and realize, oh, hey, this is really working. So I'm sleeping better. I feel better. I'm more energized. You think about the benefits of sleep. We're talking about
Yeah.
stress relief, better mood, healthier heart, improve immune system. We talked about all of these things that come with the benefits of sleeping, and I believe our world is struggling from not my 2 things of this. I believe this. I believe sleep is one of our biggest issues, and I love talking about hydration so much. Like I love talking about it because I feel like if people were properly hydrated, they would sleep more, they'd have more energy. We wouldn't need coffee. We wouldn't need a lot of things if people knew how to properly hydrate. Oh, there
That's
you
good.
go.
All
Yeah, they don't
right.
like us
Sorry.
talking about health. But I was saying
Mhm.
before we got cut off how 3 people
Yeah.
at the start of the year came to me about high blood pressure, and they went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, hey, she's working out, but her heart is constantly racing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, she's constantly racing. She can't get through a workout. She goes to the doctor. They immediately just give her blood pressure medicine. She takes the blood pressure medicine. She's feeling crazy. Like y'all know what's going on. I work out all the time. Why is this
Mhm.
happening? For me, I saw it. I said, okay, you're probably dehydrated. You've been working out every day, and you're doing a sauna after you work out. You're probably
Yeah.
dehydrated. So once I taught her how to properly hydrate, you know what I mean? Instantly, her blood pressure. She was sending me pictures of her blood pressure dropping, dropping, dropping.
Yeah.
So
So
I
the
believe
education.
that's it. It's just
Yes.
education, and then
Hmm.
the doctors aren't saying that. Like you said, they don't
No,
mention this stuff, and it's just like so you just got to read on your own a little bit and look
you
into if
gotta
you're
read
feeling
on your
something.
own.
You really do. So, stuff like that. So I believe a lot of us struggle with dehydration. I think the dehydration is what starts because dehydration, you can
Hmm.
develop type 2 diabetes. You can develop
Yes.
all of that because of the fact that, obviously we're taught about, salt is bad and stuff like that, but that is actually not true. It's a lie. It's not. It helps to regulate our water levels. But if you're not properly hydrated, you're just drinking water,
Yeah,
you pull,
chemically imbalanced.
yeah, you
Yes.
flush all of that out. And what happens is when you're not balanced, right, it locks your kidneys from being able to use fat as an energy source.
Yeah.
And once it does that, it only uses carbs, and it makes you crave refined type sugars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then that's what starts to spike your blood pressure. It's not the salt. It's really the sugar part. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I feel like we struggle. I think that's what I really feel like if people are hydrated, we would see a lot more a decrease in a lot of these issues, even sleep. Hydration. I am always hydrated before I go to bed. Like I do not care. I will make sure that I get everything I need, and I sleep way better when I'm hydrated. I'm not waking up with dry mouth. I'm not to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom. You know what I mean? I go to the bathroom, but I sleep way better, less muscle cramps and joints and things like that. So I always, to me, that's one of the most important things that I'm always preaching. And I feel like, but hydration, magnesium, which I just talked about, which is one of the things that helps with sleep, is also a component of hydration. They don't talk about that. They often say that it's like, sodium, potassium, and chloride, but they leave out magnesium. Magnesium is a
Yeah,
part of that hydration too. So
it is.
I had to read and learn that. And like, okay, so now you buy these electrolyte drinks, magnesium's not in it. This ain't in it. Salt's not in it. Like these ain't hydration drinks. And I think that's for me, when I started to hydrate properly, my sleep improved. Adding
Okay.
those, my sleep improved, and then adding those supplements in, really, I started to get deep sleep. So when I go to bed, I take that before bed. 60 minutes, I'll take the glycine, like 2 or 3 grams before I go to bed. I am gone. You know what I mean? And I'm
Okay.
knocked out. Now the snoring is there. So I don't know what's going on. I gotta try my
Yeah,
physician
because
switch
we already talked,
over.
that's like obstructive. So
you
no
know,
medication can't really do much for it.
right,
You just have
right.
to position, and then I do recommend you seeing a sleep physician. I recommend everybody should have a sleep test. Like I
I'm
don't
gonna
know if
come
you know what
see
the
you, man.
a sleep study.
How
So
does
a
that
sleep
work?
study.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so a sleep study is basically okay, they have a sleep study is done in a lab in the
Okay.
hospital. Okay. Your physician has to refer you. Primary care can do it, or a sleep physician can refer you and stuff like that. So you basically go into a lab. They try to make it don't look so much like you're in a hospital. Um, my
That's
old
tough.
yeah, but it's in the hospital. But anyways, so basically they're the not respiratory therapists, but a sleep technologists. Okay, respiratory therapists are licensed; they can do it too.
Okay.
But they basically you're sleeping, they're up, they're monitoring your sleep. They put all these different probes, putting
That's
on your
tough.
legs. Because I don't know if you ever heard of restless leg syndrome. So that's another sleep
No.
disorder. People, you ever heard
They're
people
like
go to sleep?
leg jump or something in their sleep.
Yeah, their leg will jump and they'll get up in the morning. They'll think that they just ran a marathon. They don't understand their leg
Really?
is
Wow, I've
cramping.
never heard of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So their leg is
Wow.
moving all through like through the night, like jerking and stuff like that.
Now I
So
do
they put
jerk. I do jerk, but I don't feel like that. But I snore. My wife says I
Mhm.
jerk. I gotta go get a study, man. This is not good.
Yeah. So they put these probes on your legs and of course your chest to see how your they monitor your heart, to make sure that your legs is not moving around. They put some probes on your head, just like
Yeah.
brain movement, and then of course they check your they're checking your oxygen. So just think about it. So every time you have an apnea, remember apneas mean you're not breathing, okay? So
Okay.
when you have an apnea, that's mean your oxygen level goes all the way down, all the way down under like 80. That's kind of dangerous, right? But
Right.
then once you get up, that's how when people snore and they make the noise and you get up, your
Yeah.
oxygen level will go back up. Just imagine you keep doing that. You keep doing that. You're unintentionally not knowing that you're stop breathing, getting up, stop breathing, getting up, stop breathing.
Right.
That's what the apneas are. And that's where you can hear some people say, hey, when they get up in the morning, their heads hurt. It's because the lack
Hmm.
of oxygen that they're getting in they're getting
Wow.
in their
Okay.
brain. So this test is done where the sleep texts actually have a video on you. They're watching everything, but there's people that have parasomnias. Parasomnias are weird things where people get up in the morning, get up in the middle of the night, go eat something. They don't know
I
that. They
I saw that. I saw my little brother do that one time years ago, and
yeah.
I was just sitting on the bed, and I turned over one day. He was just standing at the door. He was just standing there, and then just walked away. It was like one of them scary movie things. But he didn't.
Yes.
And I went to him like, "Yo, you didn't know you was up." He was like, "No." Like
No. Yep.
I'm like,
Sleepwalking.
"Yeah,
Yes. Those are all
that's real scary."
parasomnias. Yeah.
Yeah.
parasomnia. Oh, you hear like that's the most interesting of the sleep disorder. But all
Wow.
this is happening, so they can videotape and see that. But what they're really looking at, they're looking to see how many times you stop breathing per hour. Okay,
Okay.
so if you stop breathing, so 5 times per hour is normal. Anything above 5 to about 15, that's mild, moderate, 16 to about 29, that's moderate, and then anything over 30 is severe. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
And so from mild is enough to have someone say, you know what, every time I get up in the morning, I feel like I need to go take a nap again. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or, and then it gets to severe where people are having comorbidity issues, diabetes,
Wow.
hypertension, overweight, morbid obesity, like all those issues, right? So it's that serious. When you do the study, it basically tells us where you're at, and then that kind of answer a lot of the questions that you might have. Like, yeah, I'm like, this is my issue, and it's like, yeah, well,
Right.
look at your numbers, severe, but you won't know until you have a sleep study. I recommend that everybody should. So that's the in lab. Sometimes you don't even need to come in lab. We can do a home sleep test. They're
Okay.
actually, yeah, you do it yourself. They put something around your chest, and they'll have a video
Interesting.
show you. They'll ship it to your house, and it's enough to just diagnose you to see if you have sleep apnea.
That might be a
Okay.
good option. I can't see myself falling asleep while they're
Yeah, it's
watching
hard.
me. I know. What do you,
It,
okay, so I tell my clients that,
mhm.
6 to 8 hours of sleep every night is great for repairing the muscle. So I'm
Yes,
even going, I would rather say 8 to 10. Like I want people to sleep more. What do you say is a good amount of hours of sleep for people?
8 and more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
like 8. I mean, 6 to 8 is manageable, you know what I'm saying? But 8, I think you should have a good, like, I go to sleep like 8. I have to have 8 hours. Okay.
Yeah,
That's me. So
right,
that's why I do sleep at a certain time. But then I'm not gonna lie. If I go to bed like 10 or 11 or 12, those time, I'm gonna still get up the
right.
same hours as if I slept
Okay,
like for 8 hours. So I'm
right.
a person, like, it's not like if I go to bed at midnight, or if I went somewhere like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then I'm not gonna get up at 10 in the morning. No.
Right. We still
I'm
going to get
used
up
to
at the
getting up at
regular
6
time.
in the morning. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah,
still gonna get up my regular time. So like I have to limit, like I can't, I mean, I'm not young anymore. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me go out Friday night, Saturday night, because I'm really gonna like I have to have my 8 hours of sleep. So meaning for me, I need to be in my bed by 9, 10 o'clock so I can have a minimal 8 hours.
absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Absolutely. We
saying?
got to prioritize going to sleep. Like,
Yeah, like you have
even
to, yeah,
nowadays, the watch will go off and say, hey, it's time to get ready for bed. And we got to, like, make sure that we actually do that. Like, the TV shows can wait, the games can wait, whatever it is. Sleep is so important, especially, like,
yeah.
just like I said, for my clients, I need them to sleep. And in your world, I know this for a fact, you won't
Mhm.
like the person you become if you're not getting sleep. Like you will not
No.
like, I mean, everything about you, how you feel,
Yeah, cognitive
how you,
behaviors.
I'm telling you, the
Yes.
way you think, you won't be able to focus. Like it is going to be a problem. So like when people tell me, oh, I slept 4 hours, all I need is 4 hours. Like, no, you need more than that, man. Like you can't even make a good decision. Only 4 hours
No,
of
they're the one
sleep,
that's always
you
forgetting
know?
stuff. I forgot to do this. I forgot to do that. How's your sleep? I forgot.
Absolutely.
I didn't sleep that much. So for cognitive behavior, I mean, this is us as an adult, but even children, you have your children. It
Right.
kills me when talk to people and it's 10 o'clock and your kid's not in bed. No, we need to take those habits for our own children, go to bed at 8.
Absolutely.
Yeah, our kids need
Absolutely.
like about 10 hours,
Absolutely.
like 10
Absolutely.
hours. Yeah.
10
So like,
hours. I'm glad you said
yeah,
that.
I have
I'm
a
glad you said that
15
because
year
I think
old.
a lot of
I
us
tell
do, a
him to go
lot
to
of
bed
parents do that.
early.
Yeah, a lot of
Yes.
parents do that.
Yes.
We'll just, our kids there, we'll forget about it. Before you know it, it's 10 o'clock and they're trying to go to bed. I think I make that mistake a lot of times. So I'm trying to get better at that myself. We
Yeah.
got like 3 minutes and 50 seconds left, but that's fine
Mhm.
because, we on the free version. But that's
Mhm.
okay. Like you gave so much information. and I'm going to post this not only on my podcast, I'm going to put this on in our Motivators Connect as well, so they can see this, because I want them to see what we're trying to build, what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
But this is super cool. I want to leave them again with my tips for better sleep. I'm going to say it again. Sunlight, morning sunlight, hot shower, hour before bed, go to bed at the same time every night. No caffeine after 12 p.m. No big meals before bed. Dim the lights or turn them off when you go to sleep. Cool room. No
Yes.
exercise close to bedtime. No, you have too
No.
much energy that'll rile you up. All right. Those are my tips. You leave us with some tips for people trying to get some sleep if you have any. What do you do?
Oh, yeah, just go. Yeah, make it a routine. Go to bed at the same time every night. Yeah, and then of course, pray.
Yeah, listen, seriously.
Yeah, like that's
Absolutely.
part of our routine. And just, because, God said we have to rest and we need to rest. It's very
Absolutely.
important. And I'm just looking forward to us to, get some, better knowledge and stuff like that. And so we can
Absolutely.
have good sleep. And then if anybody do have any sleep disorders, there's treatments. And I know,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I'm very connected. So that's it.
Absolutely. So I want to thank you for jumping on Chopping the Fat podcast with me. I know this was people don't know this is a big step for you, coming out
It
your shell a
is.
little bit. I love it. Hopefully we'll get you in person one day. And then, hopefully on some panel discussions, health events, all of that. We're going to go big.
Yeah, yes,
But
yes, 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 yes.
absolutely.
Definitely.
I just want to say what I want to say. If everybody that's watching, comment on this. If you have any questions, DM us, drop a comment below. We'll respond. We'll get back to you, whatever it is. I'm pretty sure people are dealing with this issue all over the world, in our
Oh,
circle, in our family. So feel free to
yeah.
hit us up.
Nothing
Connect
to
with
be ashamed about.
Marline. Absolutely. I told you I'm
None.
snoring. I'm snoring. I'm
Yeah.
jerking. I'm getting elbows
Yeah.
from my wife from doing all of that. So
I'm not gonna lie, I had sleep apnea myself. I had it, and then all I had to do was lose about 15 pounds,
listen.
and it kind of went away.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm
yeah,
gonna find.
losing, yes, I did. So
I gotta figure out why I'm not doing it on the couch. So I gotta adjust my position. Would you say what is it? Position therapy? What is it? Sleep position therapy?
possession,
Something like
yeah,
position therapy.
I want
I
to
gotta check. I'm gonna try some things
yeah,
tonight. All
yeah.
right. So thank you again. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week when we do a new episode of Chopping the Fat podcast. Hope you enjoy this. I hope your sleep gets improved from some of the tips that we dropped. And if you are struggling, please find a sleep therapist. Try some supplements. Try something. Your sleep is
Yeah, just try
important.
something. Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. We want you to be the best you. And unfortunately, sleep has to happen. So we thank
Yes.
you. I will see you soon. Marlene, thanks for jumping on.
You're welcome.
All righty.